Today we're going to learn about journal entries. So just consider there's one business which is A and he buys goods from B. So this side he purchases goods. A purchases goods from B. So this has to be recorded in your journal entry because this is a transaction which occurred between A and B, and this also involves money. So thus these type of transactions which involves money has to be entered in the books of account, which is journal and ledger. So basically I can define journal entries as it's a book of prime entry in which transactions are recorded in chronological order. So what is chronological order? Chronological order is nothing but date wise. You any entry you will pass it date wise. For an example, at January 1 you purchase goods, and at Jan 5 you sold goods. So which entry you'll be putting first? You'll be putting this one because this is the first entry which took place before Jan 5th. So thus journal entries are entries which have to be entered in date wise. When an entry is made in the books, it is made based on the evidences. These evidences could be a bill of purchase or a sales invoice. For example, let's take A who buys goods from B for amount of 40,000. Thus A makes a bill, and these bills are used to make the journal entries. So these are the evidences for the journal entry, and all these evidences are also known as source documents. Before we start entering the journal entries in the books, there are some rules for debit and credit which should be followed. These can be classified into traditional classification or modern classification. Generally, all firms use modern classification these days to enter any entries in the books. In this video, I'll be continuing by using modern classification. Under modern classification, this table will help you to make any journal entry which is being asked. So there are 5 types of accounts: asset account, liability account, capital account, revenue account, and expenses account. So when an asset account increases, you have to debit it, and when it decreases, you have to credit it. Same in the liability, when it decreases, you have to debit it, and when it increases, and credit it. So subsequently for all the accounts, these are the things to do when you make a journal entry. The important thing to note is that an asset account always has a debit balance. For example, you purchase a building. So when you purchase a building, an asset is created. Thus, this increases your asset, and thus you debit. And when you sell the building, your asset decreases and you credit. Now for the second type of account, which is liabilities. Liabilities always have a credit balance. For example, you take creditors. Creditors are liabilities. So when your creditors increases, you credit it as per the rules, and when it decreases, you debit it. And taking into the capital, the same thing is done. Now, while taking revenue, examples for revenue are sales. So when you do any sales, your revenue increases, and thus you credit it. And when your sales decreases, you debit it. And same into expenses. Expenses are like example purchases. So when you purchase any goods, your expenses increases, and thus you debit it. And same for the opposite. A easier way to know this table is that any decrease or increase in the debit column will have the opposite effect in the credit column. For example, when an asset increases, it has to be debited, and when it decreases, it has to be credited. Same for liability, when it decreases, it has to be debited, and the opposite, when it increases, it has to be credited. Thus, you should always know that your asset is a debit balance and your liability is a credit balance. These are the steps which need to be known to record a journal entry. First, we'll have to identify the items in the transaction and then find the nature of the items, whether these will be a debit nature or a credit nature, and then record these transactions. So while recording, there's a format to record any journal entry, and thus we'll be seeing the format now. There's a certain format which is to be taken while recording your entries. This format contains 5 columns, which is of date, particulars, LF, which is known as ledger folio, and your debit and your credit column. So your journal entries will be passed on your particulars column and the date of the transaction and the amount to be debited and credited. And ledger folio will be affected in the ledger book. So the first sum is purchase goods for 5,000 against cash. So we'll have to find the items which would affect the transaction. So these items are purchase and cash, and they've given the amount as 5,000. So when you purchase your any goods, your expenses increases, and as in the previous example I've told, purchases comes under expense account, and when your expenses increases, you debit it. Meanwhile, cash goes out of the business. As cash goes out of your business, your assets decreases, so you credit it. So very important point to know is that whenever you record an entry, you should record it in the business point of view. Always have to record a transaction in a business point of view. So as per the business, when you purchase your goods, the cash is going out of the business, thus your cash decreases and your assets decreases. And as we saw in the table, when your assets decreases, you have to credit the item. And as purchase is an expense, when you purchase some goods, your expenses increases, and thus you have to debit it. So while putting this in the journal, the date is not given in this question, so we just leave it and we put it as purchase account debit to cash account, and we put the amount in the debit and credit column as 5,000. So whenever you make a journal entry, you should always put a narration. So narration is a sentence which gives a summary to the journal. So whenever you start a narration, you start with the word being goods purchased for cash. Thus this explains what the journal is. Now going to the second question. In the second question, they've given that purchased a building and paid 2,50,000 by check. So there is two items which will affect this transaction, which would be building and bank. Bank means check over here. So a lot of people might be asking, why not purchases? So that's a very important point to remember, is that when you purchase goods, your purchases will be debited, and when you purchase any fixed asset, your fixed asset account will be debited. So this is a very important point while making a journal entry. So while you purchase any goods from any supplier or someone, you put purchases debit as per the last sum where you put purchases debit. But when you purchase any fixed asset, like when you purchase the machinery, you put it as fixed asset account debit to cash or bank. So in this question, they have given that purchase a building and pay 2,50,000 by check. So what would be the entry? So when you purchase a building is your fixed asset, and your fixed asset, it comes under the asset account. So when you purchase a building, your asset is created or your asset increases. So as per the table, when your asset increases, you debit it. And while you buying the building, you pay and your cash goes out. You're paying through check. So a check goes out and this reduces your bank balance. So your asset decreases. So when your asset decreases, you do credit. So the entry for this question would be building account debit to bank account credit. The entry for the second sum would be building account debit to bank account. So suppose keep it that you're buying the building and you're paying by cash. So instead of bank account, you would be putting cash account. And the amount is 2,50,000. So you have to put the narration and have to start with the word being, building, purchased through check. So when you purchase goods, it comes under your expense account, and your building comes under your fixed asset account. So let's go to the third question. In the third sum, they've given purchased goods from Hari and Co. for 1 lakh. So in this, they have not purchased the goods in cash because they didn't mention that they have paid against cash, as they have mentioned in the first question where they have told purchase goods for 5,000 against cash. So in this, they purchase goods against credit. So what is credit here? When A purchase goods from B for 1 lakh and pays after 1 month. So this means that he has taken goods in credit from B. So that will be no cash entry. So instead of this, you will be putting your creditors entry, which they have given as Hari and Co. So two items affecting in this transaction would be purchases, as you have purchased goods, and Hari and Co. So purchases is your expense, and when your expense increases, you debit it. And Hari and Co., they are your creditors. They're your creditors because you gotta pay them the cash for the goods. So creditors are liability, comes under the liability account. So when your creditors increases, you credit your liability account, and when your expense increases, you debit your purchases account. So the entry would be simple, which should be purchases account debit to Hari and Co. The amount would be 1 lakh. And your narration would be being goods purchased in credit. The last time they've given us sold goods for cash 50,000. So the two aspects that would affect the transaction is sales and cash. So as we all know, cash is a asset, and when cash comes inside the business from your sales, your asset increases. and when your asset increases, you debit. Same, while seeing your sales, sales is your revenue account. So when you do your sales increases, your revenue increases. So when your revenue increases, you credit. Thus, the entry would be simple, which is cash account debit to sales account. And the amount given is 50,000. So you debit 50,000 over here and you credit 50,000 over here. And the narration would be being, this is very important, goods sold for cash. So here sales is a revenue account and your sales increases, so you credit it. And your cash is the asset account and it increases as cash comes into the business, you debit it. That's all for today's video and thank you so much for watching.